we're going to have the pleasure of spending some time with Miss Aniko Kovacs from Garden Florist.
Garland's Florist in Vancouver.
In Vancouver.
Yes.
Hi, hello everyone. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Aniko. Hi. So I just want to kind of give everybody heads up who you are, where you're from. Of course, Vancouver. And Aniko has the most wonderful flower shop in the Kitsilano area of Vancouver. It's a very busy pedestrian, lots of foot traffic, and she attracts all her customers with the, jam-packed store, plant filled to the brim, all kinds of really cool things. It's a little bit of a juggle in itself, I think. And I know that a lot of young consumers today love that so much. I think she's trendy. I think she's imaginative. I think she's just all about fun and colorful and really attracts her consumers with her sense of sort of the European ways of designing. I think her customers must absolutely love her to death. So anyway, we were able to share with you the upcoming video from her shop. And so I'll just ask her, so how do you come up with some of these color concoctions? Like how do you plan your pieces that you want to create for the bride or for your customers that's color focused?
Well, I always love colors. I always try to go towards to the really dramatic combination of colors. So like the hot pinks, the oranges, the purples, the lime greens, and luckily, like when we had this session with the Hawaiian flowers, it was the end of summer when we did the videos, and the local flowers were just thriving, especially this year because there was not enough rain, which was unfortunate in certain levels. But also what happened, a lot of the garden flowers or the field flowers were still around. And the dahlias, the roses, the callas, they were just unbelievably showing the colors of the season. So I'm always like, it just gives me the energy, like when you work with those stronger colors, and I try to incorporate them with the flowers, with the Hawaiian flowers.
I think you do a fabulous job. I think colorful is sort of the signature of Garland's Florist. I think that's how I see you, as a very colorful person and a beautiful designer. So shall we just watch your video to check out what you ended up creating with Hawaiian Tropicals?
Sure. Yes. Thank you so much. And thank you for inviting me this year as well. Thank you.
Awesome.
What I love about the Hawaiian flowers and foliages is the varieties, is the freshness, is the sizes of the leaves and the foliages. They are amazing to use, like for larger events, for weddings, for receptions. These pieces are usually something that you don't find locally. It's hard to get them from other countries, so it's definitely something what specializing in the Hawaiian. My name is Aniko Kovacs. I am from Budapest, from Hungary. My husband and I, we came over 20 years ago, and shortly after we started with our little flower shop here in Vancouver, Kitsilano, which is very family orientated. And since we also started with our family, we kind of stayed. So I wanted to work with some really bright, hot colors, and I tried to choose the products on that color palette. The anthuriums and heliconiums have that orangey hot pink hues and tones, and they work perfectly together as a combination for bouquets and centerpieces. For the larger pieces, the Livingstonia leaves and the yellow palm leaves, the monsteras and the alocasia leaves are adding that extra texture and interest to your arrangements. As I love hot colors and bright colors putting together. They create a little bit of drama, they create a little bit of excitement, energy, And I try to put this into my arrangements and try to bring it through. So in the boutonniere, I tried to put together something a little bit more unusual, where I would bring in little bits of pieces of different varieties and different colors to create a little bit more textures and drama. So it's not just one type of flowers or foliages wired together. In this case, they create a little bit more drama and a little bit more excitement. So my second piece is a small ring to carry for a flower girl. And the way I put that together, it's an 8-inch round wreath, and I covered it with a very colorful hot pink yarn first, because I wanted to bring in the color combination. I used bullion wire, and I just stringed the heads of the spray roses and also the heads of the dendrobiums and mocharas. And then I tied them around in halfway on the circle, and also I secured them with bullion wire. Then I used the cold glue, and I added some extra mochara flower pieces, glued. I glued them. I glued the mochara pieces to the ring. And as a final step, I just wanted to add a little bit of movement when the girl carries the ring. And I did these strings of dendrobiums and mocharas, and I wired them on a bullion wire and then attached them to the ring. So this piece would be wonderful to carry for like a younger girl, or even a boy, like 5 to 7 years old, like so they can play with it a little bit. It's a very playful piece. It has lots of movement, and it would be a great alternative instead of just throwing petals. I wanted to create a vignette with 2 pieces, because sometimes when you go to a reception area, like you perhaps don't have enough room or you have way too much room, so you can pair some of the arrangements together. In this case, one could be in front of the other, or higher, then lower with the other. So I would like to start with the beautiful Livingstonia palm leaves, because when they arrived, they were huge. So I had this great idea where I thought I'm going to start to tie the leaves together to create this different texture and beautiful backdrop for the arrangement itself. I designed the pieces with the monstera leaves next, which gave a nice balance against the palm leaf. And they set the space up for the heliconiums and the ginger, which are also nice and tall and very dramatic flowers. On the other side, I used the alocasia leaves and some of the pandanus, which I cut into half, and I twisted them around, curled them around. For the flowers, again, like hot pink local roses and hydrangeas with mixed together with the tropical phalaenopsises and ginger and anthuriums. These anthuriums are very unique for their colors. They called anthurium butterfly obake, and they fit perfectly with the color combination. At the end, like the flowers, they really complemented each other, and especially the heliconium sexy pink really gave that extra attention and drama for the pieces. My final piece is the bridal bouquet, and I wanted to do something a little bit more moving, a little bit more cascading down, using like the beautiful dendrobium orchids from Hawaii and also the phalaenopsises. So I created this structure with wire, which I covered with yarn. And I chose again a bright color yarn, a hot pink one, since my color palette is from hot pink and orange together. Once I created the structure with the wire, I added a few pieces of the ficus roots, just for some natural look and also just for some stability. For this tropical nouveau bouquet, I used the local flowers, which were locally grown hydrangeas, calla lilies, and roses. Especially the hydrangeas are beautiful at this time of the year here in BC because there's just so many of them and the varieties are amazing. For the tropical side, I had anthuriums and dendrobiums, phalaenopsis, pincushions. So adding these two very different varieties together created this beautiful tropical nouveau bouquet. So for the foliages, I used several different ones. One of them is the rufous palm at the back of the bouquet, and I made these little loops out of the leaves where I wired them together. So they created some drama for the back side of the bouquet. And also, it's easy to use them as a support for the stems, for the calla lilies, and for the other flowers. At the end, this combination creates a beautiful tropical nouveau bouquet with hot colors, with different textures, with many different varieties for a bride who loves colors and drama. Thank you so much for everyone for being here and spending some time with me. I am very grateful that I had the opportunity to show you some different techniques or something what I use in the store, and hopefully there's something for everyone to take away, and you could create your own little tropical nouveau arrangement.
Aniko, I would like to repeat what Hitomi said. Your creations are beautiful and so colorful.
And I love that you got that picture right behind the
So
backdrop.
yeah.
It's just so bright. I love it. It looks like you're wearing a giant headpiece. Like, it looks
Yeah.
fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah, so that was the idea. I thought, like, I just used one of the images I have for the background just to show the colors, how much I love them. Yeah, I love colors. So.
Yeah. I just feel like you exude youth and vibrance and exuberance, all the things that a lot of the young brides are really looking for, someone who can help them convey the way they are, their youthfulness and love for color. I just think you convey that so very well in all of your work. We really appreciate everything that you put into this particular video. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. And yes, I did have fun too. It's always fun to pick out like different materials, like especially with the yarn when you have like all the different colors and you can incorporate them with the flowers and with the wire, with the vine together. At the end, I think it just brings it together very nicely.
Yeah. So, Johnny, do you have any questions over there?
How long do flowers and foliage from Hawaii in an arrangement?
So, sorry, it was cutting out. How long do they last in an arrangement? Is that the question?
In your
Oh,
opinion?
well, I mean, they last extremely well. I mean, we use tropical flowers, especially foliages. Like I use a lot of the foliages, like the monsteras, the pandanus's, the livingstonias, the ferns, especially the ferns. When you incorporate them together with the flowers, you can use them on the weekly corporate orders. You can use them for restaurants and hotels, and also when you do the events, what is great about them, the longevity, that they don't necessarily need to go in water directly. You can use them without the water source for a couple hours, and then you can take them back to the shop and you can still use them for other functions.
Okay, so I have a question for you, Aniko, about the shipment. So basically, we saw you unpacking and everything. And so what is your assessment of the way they're packed and the way you receive it? Just give me your thought on the packing.
Yeah, so when you receive the shipment, it usually it comes with FedEx. But when you open the boxes, you could just see the freshness of it, because I mean, as soon as you open the lid, like you see the wet newspaper on the top, and then you open the newspaper, and then everything is just you almost smell Hawaii right away as you open the box because it's just so fresh. You see literally the raindrops on some of the foliages. So it's very as I said, it's very fresh. The quality is always under control. It's hardly any damages. They use a lot of packings, like paper packing, so to make sure that the flowers are not damaged during the transportation. So yeah, it's wonderfully done. And the anthuriums, of course, like they always come like in a flat box, like in a more a narrower box without a water source, which is amazing because then the boxes are lighter for shipping, so you don't pay so much for the shipping itself, and they just packable. They always perfect.
I'm sure that when
Yeah.
you receive your flowers, Aniko, in the flower box, that you cut the stems again in water with a sharp object, a nice sharp knife or a sickle or some sharp,
Yes, correct.
yeah.
Like clippers or
Clippers.
knives. Yes.
That will greatly,
Yes. So when you
that will greatly extend the shelf life of your product too, because what happens is the bottom of the flowers will scab. And so there's not a good way for them to drink that water up to make them last longer in your shop and when you deliver them to your places.
Absolutely. So we do that. Absolutely. Once we unpack the flowers and the foliages, we cut them, we put them in lukewarm water, and of course you have to leave them for a couple hours to get them rehydrated again, and then you use them.
You're on it, girl.
Fine.
Well, I love that when you unpack and, you put out the Livingstonia, the beautiful Chinese fan palm, and that the great big sizes in your shop. It just makes that shop so lush, like I say, like a jungle. Because basically you do actually in your shop kind of merchandise your cut flowers almost like a European flower market out right on the floor and not in a cooler, right? So it really
Yes.
is it's like a real adventure to walk through your shop to see how beautiful your selection is.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
So how regularly do you turn over your sort of merchandising of your product? Getting the Hawaiian tropical, does that fit into that cycle? Like, your weekly or whatever sort of turnover?
Yeah. So I mean, basically, I go to the local market like twice a week, and with imported flowers, including the Hawaiian flowers or the Hawaiian tropicals, like I try to get them like every other week, so every 2 weeks. However, in the winter time, when the selection of the local flowers drops, especially after November now, it's always great to have that source, the tropical flowers, because they just last longer. The quality is beautiful. The prices are perfect, and the longevity of the products help you carry over the holiday events for different functions or the dinner parties. So I would say like probably every other week. Yes.
Mm-hmm. So another question about the sizes of, like, for instance, your anthuriums, because they come in all different sizes. And I remember the last time we did this, you asked for medium, and they were really, really big. So what is the best size for you to use in your flower shop on a sort of retail basis? What's the best size of anthurium for a retail shop in Canada?
I would say the small sizes, because the small sizes, you can incorporate them. And when I say small, they are not small. They are the ones what you saw in the video also, and what I use for the wedding bouquets. So the head of the flower is at least like 5 to 6 inches diameter, which is perfect for bouquets, perfect for arrangements. I mean, of course, if you have like an event, then you can ask for the next, which is the medium to the large size. And then you will really get these huge, beautiful anthuriums, which are perfectly like for the larger corporate events.
So another question, I have a lot of questions because I think this is kind of a very important topic. I think you being a Canadian florist and being in a much colder climate than Hawaii, is there a seasonality to when it's best for a Canadian florist to be working with tropicals, when it would probably market the best, considering the kind of weather kind of issues that we actually face? Is there seasonality for tropicals in Canada?
Well, I would say, the tropicals are always available, but I think the summertime is definitely a great time because there's no really risk with the shipping at all. And I mean, here in BC, we are lucky enough that we don't really get those cold winters, what Ontario has, for example. I would almost say like all year round. Like maybe at the beginning of the year, perhaps like January is a little bit more off season. But other than that, I would recommend it all year round because it's really there is no risk to it. The temperature is always very even. The packaging is great, and the flowers are beautiful.
Excellent. Those are great answers. So what do you think of that, Johnny? Is that what you want to hear as growers?
I would encourage a lot of people to use all the different colors, coordinate together, and of course to mix the tropicals with the regular temperate flowers. That's what Tropical Nouveau is all about. And you do a fantastic job, Aniko. Thank you for, for fanning that flame.
Thank you so much.
It was awesome. It was wonderful. So,
thank you so much.
Yeah, so does that pretty much wrap it up here?
I forgot my one famous question. Do you have a
Oh,
favorite
yes, that's
flower?
right. You almost forgot.
Do you have a favorite flower?
Oh, a favorite flower or plant? A plant or a flower?
A favorite tropical flower?
A favorite tropical flower. Oh, I love the purple dendrobiums. I must say the dainty ones, the ones which look like little butterflies.
Oh, okay.
That's my favorite.
All right, that's great to know. Okay.
Which I think it was lucky enough. I got a couple of stems. Now that I remember, I got a couple of stems with the box, and I used them in the bridal bouquet.
Absolutely. So what do you think about that Hawaiian dendrobiums now that we're on that topic? You know, a little bit different from the Thai orchids, right? So what is its usefulness to you as a flower shop owner?
Well, I think compared to, if you compare the two varieties, basically the Thai orchids are usually, I always call them like flat orchids. They're almost two-dimensional. However, the Hawaiian orchids, like including the dendrobium, the fairy butterfly, I can't remember what the variety name is, but it's so dainty and so it's almost dancing in your hand. It's three-dimensional. It's all around. The flowers are all around the stem rather than just on one side, facing one side.
Yeah, and what I love also about it is that it almost blooms out right to the tip, so that you don't have those just series of buds at the top that doesn't open. So that's what I love about it. Yeah. No, I think shared opinions on, as a Canadian,
Yes.
you know, looking in and seeing the beautiful Hawaiian tropicals, that's kind of what I think also. So thank you so much, Aniko, for a wonderful program and wonderful explanation of how you create and how you're inspired, and love visiting your shop once again. Right there on Broadway Street in Kitsilano in Vancouver. It's such a great neighborhood, isn't it?
Yes, it is. We love Kitsilano. It's great to be here. And thank you very so much for inviting me again this year. It's my honor to be here with all the other designers. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, we have really enjoyed your enthusiastic energy. Thank you so much, Aniko.
You're welcome. Thank you. My pleasure.
Okay. Aloha.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.